Hi everyone, welcome back to Eye of the Star Wars Story, and today we're going to be talking about the first two episodes of Rebels, so let's go and jump right into it. But first off, before I do jump right into it, I would like to apologize for not having anything out for the last couple of days. I have been really busy in between work and school and just a lot of other things, so I apologize for that, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back here in the chair and filming again, so it feels really good, but let's go and jump right into it. First off, I love how the beginning scene is Ezra leaning over top of his balcony, and I know people are probably going to think, like, that's kind of a weird thing to be like, well, that's like a really good scene. I love it because it's the same scene that we get, like, at the very last episode of Rebels. We have it, like, the last couple minutes of the last episode of Rebels. It's Sabine doing the same thing. So we see that, like, in the first shot is Ezra leaning over top of the balcony whenever the Star Destroyers arrive. But then we see that, then if we jump to the last episode of Rebels, we see that Sabine is doing the same thing whenever Ahsoka arrives. So I love how they did that. Like, it was like foreshadowing. I love that. I thought that was like really cool. I loved how they did that. I also love how in the first episode we get introduced to all the characters pretty fast. We see Ezra go to the market. He helps a guy with the Empire, gets a Melu run out of it, says a kid's gotta eat. And then we see him, and then we get to see the crew. We see the crew meet up. We get to see him realize that what they're doing seems a little bit odd, and if something's important in those crates, he wants in on it. I love seeing that because we immediately kind of get a head start of what Ezra's character is. Self-absorbed, taking care of himself, doesn't really care about anyone else. I loved seeing that. Then we get to see everyone else. They steal the crates, and they get going. We see Ezra steals one of the crates too, and I love how whenever Sabine catches up to him, she's like, if the big guy catches you, he'll off you, because I can't say the actual word, but you guys know what I mean, if you guys have seen the show. Which I'm sure probably everyone has. And then we jump to Zeb, and he's like, I'm gonna off that kid. And I love that scene, like, so much, because it's very much we get to see also what Zeb's personality is like. Like, he doesn't like people messing with what they're doing. Which I really enjoy. And then we see Kanan catches up to him. Ezra manages to get away. But then the TIE Fighters are after him. We see that, but then the TIE Fighters are after him. So we see that, they go pick up, that the Ghost Crew comes and picks up Ezra. And Kanan's like, leave the crate. And then we see Ezra get to the jump. And I love that jump so much. And it's so cool. And then Hera's like, well, what tripped you up? And he's like, he did. And Hera's like, the kid? Like, I love that. Like, Hera's like, the kid? Like, just that scene is just, it's so funny. I absolutely love it. And it's always, like, I love going back through and watching Rebels so much. And then, like, jumping ahead, we know that whenever they meet Vizago, after they drop off the crates to the people, Zeb and Sabine are dropping off the crates to the people in Tarkin Town. Hera and Kanan are meeting with Vizago. I love though seeing like how before this, I love how seeing whenever they get to space, they manage to get the ties off their back, they jump into hyperspace, and then they're like, we're going back, and Ezra's like, going back? Aren't they gonna be waiting for us? And she's like, I've jammed the signal. I just love that. I love that so much. Like, we immediately get to see how great of a pilot Hera is. I love it so much. And I know I keep saying I love it so much because this is like my all-time favorite show. Like, this is my all-time favorite Star Wars show. You guys have heard me. Rebels is my number one. And I love it so much. But I love whenever they get back there how Kanan and Kanan and Hera go to Vizago, and Sabine and Zeb go to Tarkin Town with Ezra. And Ezra realizes that some of those crates were full of food for the people. That's what they were getting. And then we immediately get to know that, hey, not only, like, their main goal is to help people wherever they can. And I love seeing that. Like, it went from, like, TIE Fighters and blasters to, hey, let's help people where we can. I love that. I love seeing that so much. And it's so good. And then we know that Vizago's like, I have the information whenever he's paying them. He's like, I could give it to you, or I could give you the information you've been looking for. And they're like, the Wookiees? And he's like, the Wookiees. He tells them information that that we know later on, that he may or may not have known was a lie, because it just turns out to be a trap. We know that Hera sends Ezra onto the ship to go get them, and Ezra, we know, is protesting. He's like, why would I do that? And she's like, because Kanan did the same thing for you. And I love that. I love seeing that. And he's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, as he's running out. Because we know that Ezra for so long has been fending for himself, has been taking care of himself. All he's known how to do is keep himself alive. So the fact that he's doing something for someone else is very different for him. And so we know that he ends up getting caught, and Zeb just ditches him there. I know a lot of people are like, Zeb's my favorite character, and I know you guys have heard me that I don't like Zeb. And that's also part of the reason why, is that he just left. We know that he doesn't like Ezra. Like, we know that from pretty much the entire thing. We know that their bond is kind of, like, funny, but also, like, I don't really like you, but I'll handle you. I'll do what I can to live with you. But a lot of the time, their bond is just kind of funny. But that's kind of the reason, that's not all of the reason, but that's just, like, one of the reasons why I don't like Zeb, is because he just ditched Ezra like that. But we know that Ezra managed to get his way out. And also, another thing that I love about these episodes is we get to see Ezra find the holocron, which is really cool. I love seeing that. We know that whenever he gets in trouble, he has the holocron with him, and he opens it, which I thought was, like, really cool. Like, there's just so many scenes, and these first 2 episodes are really good. It gives us a lot of context into what the show is. I know a lot of people don't really like Season 1 of Rebels, and there are some episodes in Season 1 that are, like, they're not bad, but they're definitely not, like, my favorite. But I would still give them an 8 out of 10, because they're really good. Like, all Rebels episodes are really good, except for AP5 singing episode. It's like, no, not those ones. Not that one. But yeah, those are just my couple things on the first 2 episodes of Rebels. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know if you guys would want more. Thank you guys so much for watching. It definitely feels good to be back. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, God bless. Bye, guys.